Alright guys, so welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video is kind of a continuation of yesterday's video, which I did the review of the Sony PlayStation Platinum headset, and I, for some reason, rendered the video for 360p. So I didn't even do it in HD. But this one, I promise you, is gonna be in HD. And we're gonna compare the Sony PlayStation Platinum to the Sony PlayStation Gold. Because some of you might be wondering if the additional $60 difference is worth it to go to the Platinum. The PlayStation Golds retail for $99, where the Platinum retails for $159. So we're gonna start off with accessories, and this one is easy. Everything is exactly the same. You get the exact same headphone cable if you want to use them wired. You get the exact same pouch, except the one in the PlayStation Gold has a white logo, as to where the one on the Platinum, it just blends in with the rest of the bag, so it has more of a discreet look. But the USB dongle that you use to get them wireless, that is where the difference is, because in the PlayStation Gold it was a lot smaller. The PlayStation Platinum one's a little more beefier, and it has vent holes so that when it gets warm, it has the ability to breathe and it's not going to overheat. Not that that was ever an issue with the Gold, but for some reason they felt the need to do that in the Platinum. Alright, so the headsets themselves is where there's a huge difference. The PlayStation Gold is all plastic all around. Everything, the whole body was plastic. The PlayStation Golds had a lot of issues with the hinges, a lot of them broke, and because of this plastic here, it's not as durable. There were also issues of breaking along the top of the headband. It just had a very fragile feel. The ear cups on both headsets are exactly the same. It's angled inside of the ear cup so that your ears are placed in a way where it allows surround sound to have more space. The same exact material, the exact same size. So if you've ever put the PlayStation Gold headset on and you felt those ear cups, the PlayStation Platinum ones feel exactly the same. Inside of the PlayStation Gold, it's black, as to where the PlayStation Platinum, inside you have blue. Now, the huge difference is in the headband, as you guys can see. The plastic on the PlayStation Gold is nothing compared to the alloy that they used on top of the Platinum. And underneath the alloy, you have a rubbery silicone material so that when you're putting them on, it just gives you a much more comfortable feel. It never feels like anything's really resting on the top of your head the way that the PlayStation Gold did. Now, the PlayStation Gold has a very soft rubbery material underneath. The padding was fine for the, I never really got discomfort after a long gaming period, but the PlayStation Platinum to me feels a lot more comfortable. The outside of the ear cups themselves is a plastic material on the Gold, as to where on the Platinum you have more of a brushed feel to them. It has a different look, and to me the Platinum just looks a lot more sleek and looks like something that you would wear out in public. On the ear cups themselves, the right and left are marked on the inside on both of the headsets. The one thing they did a huge improvement over are the hinges. The hinges are just all plastic, and it's a lot less moving pieces, as to where they did, you can tell, like this one as I'm holding it is kind of flapping around real easy, and if you hold the Platinum and you move it around, you see that it's not trying to buckle and it just keeps going. So it has a lot sturdier hinge, as to where these, every time you move it around, this thing is wanting to just snap out of place. Okay, on the right side ear cup of the PlayStation Gold, there's no inputs, there's no controls, there's no anything. The only thing that's on the right hand side of the Platinum headset is your ability to have your virtual surround sound and 3D audio turn on and off, and that's placed on the back part of the ear cup. On the left hand side, I do want to point this out, because this is where I felt like they did make some improvements, and it's on the mic itself. On the left hand side, you just have a single microphone that's kind of placed almost behind the headband itself. It just kind of depends on where you have the ear cup at the time, but there's just a single little microphone port, and that's it. Okay, now on the Platinum, what they did was they put two microphones. Now, it's not one microphone on one side and one on the other. Both of them are on the left side, but one is more on the top part of the ear cup and one's down below. So it's picking up a range that's a lot better than the Gold that was way back here and way down on the bottom. You have two more that are right up front. But let's go ahead and listen to the mic quality on both of them here. Alright guys, so here is the mic quality coming out of the PlayStation Gold headset. Now this was definitely one of the weak points of the PlayStation Gold and something that they needed to prove upon in the Platinum. Alright guys, so here is the audio straight out of the PlayStation Platinum headset. Now they decided to add dual microphones up front on the left side of the ear cup to be able to possibly pick up your voice cleaner and a lot clearer. Do you guys think that they accomplished that with this headset? Okay, so now we're going to look at controls on the left side of the ear cup. On the Gold, on the front part, you have your sound and chat volume. That way you can decide if you want to hear more game volume or more of your chat. You control that in the front. You also have the on and off switch down here, which you turn off, and you can go to your sound settings for 1 or 2. So both of these headsets use the headphone companion app on your PlayStation 4, so you're able to put in EQ settings or different preset settings into your headphones, which gives you a really nice sound depending on what it is you're wanting to use them for. But again, on the left side, on the back part is where your mic mute button is, your volume up and down, and then your virtual surround sound. So all those controls for this headset is on the left ear cup. The Platinum does the exact same thing, but on the Platinum, on the left ear cup, none of your controls are up front. You just have the microphones. But on the back, on the top, is where your chat and sound volume rocker is located. Your off switch and your settings 1 and 2, this is where you turn it on, is right here. Your mic mute button is located underneath that, and then you have your volume rocker underneath that. Now, on the bottom of both headsets on the left side is where the inputs are located. You have your micro USB port for charging, and then you have your headphone jack if you want to use them wired. Now, the battery life difference on these are pretty huge. I noticed with the Gold that I had to charge them quite a bit. I think they get somewhere around 7 hours of battery life, as to where the Platinum tends to get around 13. So you're getting almost double the battery life in the Platinum than what you get with the Gold. So now we're going to talk about sound. This is where I think your money is. I think this is where the money's going, okay? Because the PlayStation Gold, although I thought the surround sound sounded incredible, it lacked in the lows as far as the bass goes. Even in bass boost mode, if you're playing something that has explosions and has a lot of things that are going on, it just had more of a flatter sound signature. It was really clean, so for people that like that, and it's really good as far as picking up specific sounds, but it just, the immersion's not there as much because you're lacking in bass. And I did notice that overall with listening to games, it sounded good, but music, it just left a lot to be desired. As to where on the Platinum, it's night and day difference. Okay, the virtual surround sound sounds a whole lot better, and if you play Uncharted 4 with the 3D audio, because that's the only game right now that is compatible with 3D audio, it's mind-blowing how you can pick up the distance and the angles from where everything's coming from. It honestly adds a whole nother level of immersion to gaming that is so hard to explain. The audio, the overall audio on the Platinum, bass is finally there. It is extremely punchy. It has a warmer sound signature, so to me, it got me a lot more immersed into gaming. It really got the point across to actually feeling like you're there. So if you're playing a driving game, the roar of the engine you can feel instead of feeling like it's more at a distance. It just gives you a whole nother level of sound that the Gold was not capable of. So if you're curious to whether it's worth it to spend the extra $60 and get the Platinum, to me, if audio is important, and it should be, then it's definitely a yes. You definitely want to spend the extra money to get the Platinum. To me, the PlayStation Platinum is the best wireless option for anybody that owns a PS4. You get the richest audio, the best sound separation in surround sound. If you're listening to music, now this is even with the PC. The PC, like, music in these sounded absolutely amazing. Now on PC, you're only getting stereo because surround sound only works on the PS4. So that's it. I mean, to be honest, the Gold at $100 is, to me, a good headset. as to where the silver headset was absolute garbage. The gold is good, but the platinum is great. So anyway, this was my quick comparison for anybody that was wondering what the difference between the $100 PlayStation Gold set and the $160 PlayStation Platinum set, and if it's worth it. If you guys have any questions, just make sure to let me know below. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you guys for checking out all the other videos. And as always, guys, make sure to stay tuned for more.